Don't touch alcohol. Why not? People say. But it's going to kill you in the end. That's the main reason. But a lot of us start out when we're young, thinking it's fun. It's maybe a little bit socially anxious. We have a few drinks, get the taste for it, then it becomes a habit. But really, underneath it, most people don't realise the impact it has on your life. You know, when I look back, everything that's stopped me in my tracks, in my career, in my life, my relationships, always been down to alcohol. All the bad decisions I've made. You know, you go through these times in your life where you think, alcohol's going to make me feel better. But it does relax you initially. Maybe you sleep a little bit better when you're younger. So I'm going to use this younger and older thing, so I think it's a massive impact on how your age affects how you feel, basically, and how your body can deal with it. But it's hard to give up, isn't it, when you're young, or even when you're just in the habit, because your social circle is mainly drinkers. And I had a job, I was a policeman in the West End of London, and we all, not all of us, most of us used to have a drink after work. It just seemed to be the thing to do. But you do lose your motivation, you start to feel a bit tired. Now, if you cut down a little bit, it's amazing how good you feel. I'm not saying stop at this stage, I'm just saying just cut down a little bit, and you realise that it really is taking your energy away, taking your focus away, and you lose all of the motivation, all of the success in your life, even the dreams you have become dumbed down by alcohol. Because that's what happened to me. And you don't progress, you're not as clear. One of the things I've spoken to people about, you know, about when they've got a sober or they cut down, they've got much more mental clarity. Because even if you drink moderately, I'm talking 15, 20, 25 drinks a week, I would say it's moderate compared to what I was, you're in a constant state of being hungover, a little bit jaded, especially in the mornings, because you try and sleep it off, and then you feel, oh, I've got a weekend off. This is my green light to drink more. I've noticed a lot of people who retire like myself have become massively attached to the pub now. I've been out as well, but I've got into serious difficulties with it. But a lot of them are drinking a lot more, and retirement has been seen as an excuse to drink more instead of doing more. I spoke to a chap the other day, he had a stroke recently. He's a heavy drinker, but he says he's not an alcoholic. Whether he is or not, I don't know. However, I said, why do you keep coming to this pub? Why do you keep drinking? And he said to me, because around here there's not much to do. This is all there is to do. Well, you feel like that when you're drinking, don't you? So I said, well, why don't you, get on the train, do something, find an interest? Oh, I haven't got enough money for that. I thought, well, because you spend all of it on alcohol, don't you? Getting back and forwards to the pubs, buying people drinks you don't even know, get involved in this, that, and the other, making bad decisions again. And you end up with nothing. A lot of people end up on the streets because of alcohol. Some people say they get bored. There's nothing more boring than sitting in a hospital bed. I've got one chap I know who's got pancreatitis. He takes 17 pills a day just to stay alive, basically, and he drinks every day. He knows it's going to kill him, but he does it because he gets bored. Because he's in the habit, there's nothing else to do. There's lots of things to do. Since I've become sober, my world has opened up massively. There's so many things you can do with your life because you will feel better. So basically, you've got this system or cycle of drink, sleep, repeat, really, especially when you're retired, because you lose focus on what you want to do in life. You've got to find an interest. You see, if you drink and you enjoy your drink, it's hard to stop because it's an enjoyable thing, isn't it? You feel a bit rough, you think, oh, go to the pub, see the lads, see the girls, whatever. You feel a bit better. Initially, you do. Next day, you think, oh, I'm not going to have another drink. How many times have you said to yourself, never again, never again? You've lost money, you've lost your memory, you've said inappropriate things, you've texted people late at night, you've made mistakes, you've fallen over, you've caused all sorts of mayhem. And really, behind it all, you were quite a reasonable person when you're sober. I mean, in the job I had, in the police, we used to arrest people for drunk and disorderly. And once they're sobered up, they're the nicest people in the world. So it does have this massive effect. It is a drug at the end of the day. And people don't realise that when they go especially at this time of year, they go to the supermarkets. I went into a supermarket yesterday and the manager was in there. And he was with another guy pulling this huge pallet, two of them, two big lads, of Strongbow and something else, like boxes and boxes and boxes of alcohol being delivered for Christmas. And you'll notice in the trolleys, they're just full of boxes of alcohol. So most people will drink, and they don't realise that the hospitals are full of people with alcohol-related diseases, not just liver. It affects the heart, it affects the brain, affects the pancreas, affects the kidneys, all sorts of things. People have accidents. A lot of crime is linked to alcohol. A hell of a lot of crime is linked to alcohol. I can't think of many instances when I was in the police I went to where alcohol wasn't involved to some degree, especially with things like domestic violence, even burglary, things like that, because people have a few drinks to get the Dutch courage. Because people drink when they go on dates, don't they? They think if they stop, they're not going to be attractive. They're actually much more attractive if you're sober. Your other half doesn't want to see somebody who's drinking all the time. My dad, bless him, died 3 years ago. He used to say to me, Stephen, everyone likes to drink, but nobody likes a drunk. No, he used to drink, but moderately. Sensibly, he said to me once, he said, why don't you just have a couple of pints on a Friday or whatever day it was? I said, I can't. I just get this need to have more. And I had this, well, addiction, wasn't it? I wanted to feel like I did when I was 25. I think you're trying to chase something which happened in the past, the highs of the drink. And when you have these lows, when you feel a bit anxious the next day, you think, well, it's time to drink, it's time to drink. Another thing you do is you ignore the medical signs you may have or problems, because the drink is the main focus in your life. And you put everything down to the drink. Oh, I've got a bad head because of the drink. I've got this mark on my back because of the drink, because I fell over. All these sort of things. I've got swollen ankles because of the drink. It's all put down to the drink. There could be other medical issues, and you need to go and get checked out. So when you get to the last stages of drinking, stage 3 and stage 4, I would say stage 3 is when you're drinking and you realise there's problems, but you still carry on. You'll ignore other things in your life. You'll forget about the fact that you've got no money in the bank. You get more credit cards. You lend money. You do all sorts of things. You let your family down. You become unreliable. You let yourself down. You not look after yourself. You don't care whether or not you lose your job, really. Your house may be repossessed. You think, well, it's going to take a long time, but the time goes very quick, doesn't it? It takes over very quickly. You get a lot of debt, brings you down more. You get more anxious. You drink to alleviate the anxiety, then it comes back twice as bad. And then, like I did, you can come off for a while and then you relapse, which makes it much, much worse. The whole thing is a nightmare. In fact, I would call it a torture. So what I'm trying to do is warn people who are actively drinking or in active addiction, even if they can't stop, just to cut down a little bit. Because if you start cutting down a little bit, you'll be amazed at the effects it has on your overall health and how your energy levels increase. And you feel a lot better. You look a lot better. You'll feel like you've got your mojo back. Everything will improve, because everything that you do in life is affected by alcohol. You lose your sex drive, you lose your ability to form relationships, you lose your money, like I said, you lose your house, you lose your job, you lose everything. It has no positive effects on anybody, alcohol, but you think it does, short term. It's short-term gain for long-term pain, in my opinion. That's why you shouldn't touch alcohol. If you are benefiting from the channel, then please subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, please do, and I'll speak to you all very soon.